What's going on, everyone? Talon here, and welcome to another uniform review video. Alright, so we have a few more of the new uniforms to look at, and we're going to be looking at Thor's new uniform here. So here we have Thor's Ragnarok uniform. I must say, this uniform also looks pretty badass. I love the dual gladiator swords that he has there. Got the face paint going on, the sick looking armor. I love that armor too. Just the nice gladiator effect is what he's got going on now, so definitely a cool looking uniform. So let's see what it actually does for him. So the uniform bonus is the same as his previous uniform. It decreases all damage received by 15%, which of course is still a good bonus, so I'm still happy that he has the 15% damage reduction. And then it goes ahead and changes 6 skills. So as you can see, it changes everything, passive included. So let's go ahead and take a look here. So don't have any big changes on the first 2 skills, but then we get down to Call of Lightning here, and then as you can see, it does a little bit. So for the first 10 times that you use this skill, it will apply a 15% shock damage to the enemy over 5 seconds. So 15% every 1 second for 5 seconds, so it's going to happen 5 times. And like I said, that happens 10 times, so each time you use Thor in a battle, if you manage to get this skill off 10 times, it will activate. If you use it the 11th time, from what I'm understanding from reading the skill, it will not activate. But, oh, thank you for the Dimension Rift. But you should probably have the enemy killed by then, I would assume, unless you're trying to do like a World Boss Ultimate run or something like that with Thor. But anyway, let's look at the other skills here. So his passive has changed now to being a increase to lightning damage by 5%. I mean, 5% is pretty low, but it's better than his previous passive, because his previous passive was a 5% chance when attacking to deal 30% lightning damage over time. So kind of like this right here, shock damage. So it'll deal a 30% shock damage, what was it, for 5 seconds as well, I believe. But it's only a 5% chance when attacking, and I don't think that, well, I know in a previous case it does not apply to world bosses. I'm not sure if this new skill will apply to world bosses, because they've been kind of on and off with making kind of new effects applied to world bosses. But anyway, now you have a constant 5% damage increase, so I think that's a lot better than that 5% chance to have a little extra damage. And now we get down to his next skill here, Battle Rage. Nothing changes there, but then we have the Thundering Maelstrom, which has changed. So now, instead of having a guard against hits, he has a damage immunity. So he has damage immunity for 5 seconds, as opposed to the previous guard against 8 hits for 4 seconds. So he does actually get an extra second of added survivability here, I guess you can call it, on this 5th skill. And I do like that, because just having the guard against hits, you can have those get punched through pretty quickly if you happen to get hit rapidly in succession, so it doesn't always help you to survive. So I do like having this damage immunity a little more, because either way, whether it's guard or damage immunity, can still be pierced by a character with pierce. So yeah, anyway, let's go ahead and take a look at the skill changes now in the skill preview here, and just see what the animations look like. Alright, so let's go ahead and look at the first skill here. Alright, so right off the bat, I do notice that we do have an iframe, or a partial iframe. So in the beginning of the attack here, boom, it looks like it's pretty much a instant iframe from when you tap the skill, but it doesn't quite last the full duration, because if I try to pull the joystick away while I'm doing the attack here, as you can see, it doesn't last the full time. I don't start running away to a good like half second after the skill has already ended, or after the iframe, I mean, has already stopped. So you can get punished for this if they're not stunned or anything like that. But still, it's very nice to see that Thor now has an iframe, at least, because he didn't have any before. Now let's look at the second skill. So second skill, also an iframe, very nice. And this one has some movement as well, so I do really like this skill. Very nice. I love the slashes with the swords. Very cool. Alright, so now let's look at the third skill here. Third skill is pretty much the same, except that you add the lightning blast at the end there. So that's pretty much what the third skill was before, and then you have that extra little bit of damage there at the end. Then as you can see, there's that shock damage going to town on them for 5 seconds. And then it looks like it also had a stun, is that? It looks like, yeah, a stun. And now, let's go ahead and check out the fourth skill. Again, another iframe, so he's getting like a full iframe treatment here. And then this one's a lot better because you can activate it at kind of a range. So even though the iframe does kind of leave you a little bit open at the end there, not quite as bad as the first or the second skill because you can move pretty much right when the iframe goes away. So that is nice. I really like that skill as well. And now let's go ahead and check out the fifth skill. So the fifth skill, you do have the damage immunity, so it's fine that you don't see an iframe there because he is going to be protected. And as you can see, the skill lasts for about 2 seconds, and then you're going to have 3 seconds of damage immunity to do with what you like. Maybe if you're going to use the first skill or something like that, or if you want to go first skill, cancel into the damage immunity of the fifth skill. So he has a lot more options now of ways to survive. So Thor is definitely going to have a lot more survivability with this uniform. So I do really like this uniform as well. So I definitely think this is a good uniform to pick up for Thor, especially if you have him at tier 2, because it is going to increase his survivability and just make him a little more well-rounded than he was before. And he still has that damage reduction on the uniform, so definitely a really nice uniform. So this is going to be another uniform that I want to pick up personally, so I can already see my crystals dwindling away, and I'm probably going to have no crystals by the end of filming all of these uniform reviews. But anyway, the uniform again is another premium priced uniform, so it is 1,050 crystals on sale, 1,750 on just regular price. But you do get the increase to the all attack, all defense, so it's a little bit higher than before, so that is nice as well. So, like I said, I think this is a really good uniform. Now that we're seeing uniforms, or a lot more uniforms that are more than the 750 crystal price, though, yeah, I mean, I don't really like that they're increased in price, but so far, the uniforms that have been 1,050 units that I've looked at, or units, sorry, I've been playing too much Contest of Champions lately. Crystals have been good uniforms, so I mean, I don't mind paying up if the uniform's actually nice. But anyway, that's going to be my thoughts on Thor's new Ragnarok uniform. I hope you enjoyed, and I hope it helped in deciding if you wanted to pick up this uniform for yourself. And of course I will. Catch you in the next one.